All right, Brooke, thanks for coming to me with this problem. Would you explain to me one more time what you want to talk about today?
I mean, Jimmy in my class, he, like I've told you, just has like these outbursts and stuff, and obviously some maybe issues at home or something, but like it's just behavioral stuff that it's just a lot to deal with when I have all these other kids surrounding me.
So I hear that. So what you're saying to me is that it's hard for you to teach your classroom with Jimmy's outbursts, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So what does he do in your classroom that makes it hard for you? What are some examples?
Like, if he has has an issue, like doesn't understand something, he's very vocal and very angry about it. Like we've had altercations where he's flipped a desk.
Oh, gotcha. So I am understanding that it's hard for you to teach a class because there's obviously dangers to other students and yourself and himself. I do want to make it known that he does have a behavior plan in place in his IEP that it is okay for you to send him out of the room to his chill out zone in the behavior room so that it's not harmful to you or him. But that's at your discretion. But if he would like to go, he's able to come as well. But I would say that would be like a last measure so that he's in your class as much as possible.
Right, but he's just like a distraction to all the other students that are in the classroom. So it's like taken away from their learning.
Okay, I understand that, and I think that that is difficult. But it is he's not going to learn as well in another classroom as he is in your classroom. And I think that you are a great teacher and that you are capable of teaching him. And I know you have a lot of gifted students in the room, correct?
Yeah.
I think maybe something that I would suggest trying would be maybe pairing him with one of those gifted students that does do really well in your classroom with following the rules so that he can see your expectations in action. And I think maybe he'd be able to follow that student.
Right, but don't you think like pairing him with this gifted student's going to like deter his learning or her?
I think that's your call by choosing a student that could take that responsibility. And I think having a discussion with that student before you would do that and letting them know why you're choosing them. As high schoolers, they are responsible enough to be able to understand disabilities and be responsible for another student. I think that would be okay to do as well. It's okay to disclose that disability to someone.
But, I mean, we're in turn burdening this gifted child to help a kid that needs this, that can have these, like, violent outbursts and stuff and, like, take away from his. It just, to me, I don't want to ruin other people's chances of learning. Because of him.
Yeah, I understand your concern that there might be a burden on another student. And I think just by trying something, I don't think that's going to hurt them that much by trying it for maybe 2 weeks. And as a gifted student, they're already doing well enough in your class that I don't think pairing them with that student is going to hinder their learning all that much. And if that student is uncomfortable with the way that the student is behaving, we can have another conversation. But I think it's worth a try to try this out. And you can always come to me with any issues that you have regarding this student in your classroom.
So often do you suggest this kid take the breaks or whatever? What does he need?
I think that by giving him breaks in the middle of the class is something that would really help him. And anytime that you are sitting and lecturing for quite some time, I would say he would deserve a break in the middle or after that because that's something he struggles with is sitting and listening for a long time. He doesn't do well with listening to adults, and that's something that we are working on with him. And in his behavior contract, which you've seen that with him be able to sit and listen is one of his goals. I think that that's something that he's working on, and we're working on together with him. But that is hard for him to listen to adults speak for a long period of time. But I think that with him getting a break after that, that'd be helpful for him to actually do the work that you're expecting of him afterwards. So giving him 10 minutes to listen to music or chat with a friend quietly is really beneficial for him.
Right, but I have this 20-some kids in my class to take care of. I don't have time to sit, like, make sure he's doing okay and, like, sit down and make, like, he has his music and all that kind of stuff. It's just, you know, makes my job harder.
Mm-hmm. And I think maybe creating a schedule and sitting down and just talking to him as a person would help him out greatly too. Is you creating a relationship with him is something very important as well, because he does have a problem respecting adults, and I know that that's hard to deal with, and I really understand where you're coming from, that it's hard to, you know, have a respect when there's not respect given to you. But I think really treating him as a young adult is important, and having a conversation and, you know, understanding where he can be independent, and, you know, giving him a schedule of the day and saying, okay, here's when you can take your break, and letting him just figure that out on his own. Trying that for a week might be helpful, and if he can do that, that's great. If not, you can reconvene and try again. You can meet with me and see what else you can try. I think that would work.
Right, but why can't we just do that in your classroom? Why can't you just stay there? Why does it have to come to mine?
Because you are licensed in, and you have your degree in teaching English. I have a degree in special ed, and I'm not confident in my skills of teaching English as well as you are. So he's not going to get as great of an education from me as he is from you, and I think he can really succeed in your class. If we work together, I think he'd do really well.
So, like, do you want me to have this, like, will he know these set times that he will go to take a break, or do I have to, like, stop my class to go up to him and be like, hey, it's time for your break, kind of thing? Like, I mean, won't that be embarrassing for him?
I think that's, again, where you can have a discussion with him, and I can be there as well if you're uncomfortable speaking to him by yourself. But I think that if you talk to him and say, you know, how do you want me to approach this in the classroom? Do you want me to come and talk to you about your breaks, or would you like to do that independently? Do you think you can handle that, doing that independently? And I think you can do a trial basis of seeing how independent he can be without taking advantage of the breaks. I think, again, that's something that you need to work out with him. And I can work with him as well on that. But I think that's something that is with your discretion in your classroom.
So with, like, adults and stuff, and your experience with him, is he better at, like, when I gain this relationship with him, is he going to be more, like, apt to listen to me? Or, you know, is it just kind of all of us are on the same bubble to him?
Definitely, at home, he does struggle with relationships with his family. There's not a great relationship with his parents. So naturally, he comes into school and people are telling him what to do, like at home, and he just sees us all as the same. But once you do create a relationship with him, I've noticed that he responds a little bit better to me, and it's still, we're working on it. But yeah, I think if you treat him as an individual with respect, you're going to keep notching upwards in his respect level.
So you think between these breaks and pairing him with someone that is doing well in the class and, like, is doing well, you think all this is going to be more beneficial for his learning?
Mm-hmm. Definitely. Yeah.
So, like, me and you work together to make these, like, set times for, you know, to him to take a break. Like, are we allowing him to just leave the classroom when he needs to, or is it just going to be, like, when, like, is it going to be on his terms kind of thing? Like, how does he work?
Again, that's up to you, but I think that he knows when he needs to leave. And if you would talk to him and say, if you are feeling like you can't take it anymore, and if leaving is the best thing for you, I think that's the best case. And in that case, I need you to notify me that he's coming down. That way, if he doesn't show up, we know, you know, he's somewhere in the school wandering. But I think, you know, unless he's abusing it, I think we can let him be independent. I haven't seen any problems with him, you know, taking advantage. So I think that that's okay to let him be independent. But I think if you need to send him out of the classroom, you can do that as well. You know, if you're noticing him misbehaving too much and being a hindrance, and you can't control it, go ahead and send him down. That's okay as well.
So can we set up a meeting time for you, me, and him to all have this kind of conversation and, you know, slowly ease into our new schedule and things?
Definitely. Yeah. Are you feeling confident in being able to deal with him?
Well, I think so. It's just now that I see it won't be such a hindrance on all the other kids, and, like, we'll be able to hopefully, resolve it outside of right in the middle of class, so I'm not sparking at this kid.
Right, definitely. Yeah.
Okay.
I think we'll work well together. I think it'll be okay.
Okay.
Awesome.
Well, let's try it.
Okay.